Halo guys, balik lagi bersama kita. Hari ini kita sama special guest yaitu Miss Laavannya dari Malaysia guys. You understand what I'm saying? You understand?
Yeah.
Oh. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi guys. First of all, thank you so much for inviting me. And it's going to be amazing podcast, I believe. So a little bit about myself, right? So my name is Laavannya. You don't have to call me Miss Laavannya. I just hate my students when they call me Madam, Miss, and they call me like many more, right? Just make me older. I'm not that old, by the way, guys. That's a little bit about myself.
So what should I call you, like my princess?
No. I hate that. Definitely no.
I'm trying to alert you.
No. No. Just call me Lavi is my nickname.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Lavi.
Lavi.
Lavender.
No.
Sorry for my French. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this.
Okay. We have some questions we really wanted to ask you.
Okay. And the Lavi, can you spell it out?
Lavee.
Wrong.
Wait, Lavi?
Okay. No. It's almost there.
Lavy.
No.
Lavie.
Yeah. Oh, you got it.
Okay, first of all, we're gonna ask about what's your academic background.
The person who you see now is someone who is extrovert, who talks, you can mingle with people. I am not at all like that. When I was in my primary school, I'm the child who will be like, you thought I went missing, because in the class I'll be super quiet. Even my teachers will be like, is she really there? That kind of a person. And I was in a all girls school, so that was a trauma when I go into my secondary school where they were like mixed, right? And I was like, why suddenly got a lot of boys now?
Oh, I knew
Right?
Attractive ones, or like I'm attractive, I know I'm attractive, so I know most people think I'm attractive, so
No, I doesn't agree with that.
don't do that, man.
So then the secondary school, right? What happens is my Form 1, we call this as Form 1 and Form 2. We have until Form 5. That's our secondary school in Malaysia. So Form 1 and Form 2, I was like this very quiet girl because I didn't had a lot of friends, like a friend that vibed with you. So when I go into Form 3, I got a group of friends who were vibing exactly like me. But
Well, what kind of wine?
vibe in the sense of like, No. My vibe in the sense of we have fun and study. That's my kind of vibe. I don't like to be serious and achieve my goals. I always like you should be balanced. You achieve your goals, whatever goals you want, but at the same time you live your life, right? That's something I like. But in Form 1 and Form 2, I was so focused on studies, I didn't do anything else.
So how long do you study again? Like, 6 hours?
Yeah, like that. I'm the top scorer. Yeah. So from Form 1 up to Form 5, I'm the top scorer. But you see, in Form 3, when the correct friends came in, the percentages of my academic didn't go down, It even get better, and I think it was much more easier, because it was fun.
And like you had a work-life balance.
Exactly like that. I was like, finally, I'm living my life. So that was my secondary education in my school. So the moment Form 5, here I'm not sure how it is, but in Malaysia, right after Form 5 is where you will decide which stream do you want to go. So backstory about mine, right? My parents want me to become an engineer. Ooh, electrical engineer. Just imagine.
You want to be an engineer?
No.
I know, I'm asking that.
No.
Sometimes people like to confuse,
Confused.
The confused one.
So I was this not confused student at all. Since young, I'm someone who's very focused.
like one at
One part, yeah, it's like anyone says apart from that, I just don't even care about it. That's a problem actually. You need to also take in, right? Some of
you can listen to yourself.
Oh yeah, I listen to myself a lot.
That's good. That's actually good.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not that
No
good.
need opinions.
Yeah, exactly. It should be a balance, I guess. After that, you take a decision. But what happens in my Form 5, my father was telling me go into electrical engineer, right? It's because of he is in TNB. We call this as Tenaga Nasional Berhad in Malaysia. It's a monopoly company where they will supply electricity and it's a huge company. It's an MNC company. I'm not telling that, it's not good to go into a company, MNCs and stuff like that. It's not like that. What I mean is you follow your heart, right? Yeah. Yeah, you see what you are so interested in. So this is what happens in my secondary school. I was a pure science stream student. I took my physics, chemistry, biology at maths. And I said, good student, right? And you have that arrogance. I had a lot of arrogance. Confidence with a lot of arrogance and ego as well. So what happens is, I want to take 10 A+. That was my end goal.
Did you actually get 10 A+?
No, I got 7 A+.
That's close.
Yeah.
I gotta see, I'm already happy. You're struggling. CD, let's go, mom, see.
So yeah, to make it 10, I took principal account, which is also known as accounts. So this is how the accounting came into my blood. Like that.
It's funny because I took POA. We call it Principles of Accounting, right? So
Okay.
I also took POA, and that's what sparked my interest.
That's amazing. You see, it was only 2 years, but before that, I was all science, and I thought I will be someone related to science.
So you do science first, then suddenly you change your path.
No, it was a pure science, but at the same time, I took extra subject because I was hardworking.
Oh.
I can see that. I can see that.
So I was hardworking.
Wow, man.
So what I did is I took that 10 subjects, right? And the school said, sorry, Laavannya, we can't do classes for you. What you need to do is, it was like that. Literally, they said, we can't do classes for you, but what you can do is go and take an extra class, tuition. I was like, okay, you don't give me, so I go and get it. That's my policy actually. If someone doesn't give it, I'll just go in. Yeah. So that happened. And then I took my extra classes. From there, I actually fall in love with the subject.
Do you ever meet a guy?
Not in school.
No boyfriend at all?
No, not in school.
No.
Not in school, really. Super good student. This very typical Indian family. I'm not sure whether you all know that. Yeah. So it's a very typical. My parents are very strict. They focus on education only. So they say, never. No boyfriends until you are everything. And when you reach 25, that's I think that's the worst part, right? Like when they said they are going to find me, I was like, how do you know me? I know myself better. So I mean, jokes apart, that happens, right? So I was this very good student and all of that. Even in college, no. After college only, I started even mingling with boys and becoming friends. So you see how I would say like a very naive girl, and it's always about studies.
So if you take someone on a date, like someone take you on a date,
Yeah.
take you on a date, like you will talk about studies.
No. I mean, now no.
She likes studying, right? So
Now no.
You're gonna date.
Now no.
Just open a textbook, right?
Are you talking about like me in school time if someone asked me for a date? Or are you asking now?
No. I mean a guy.
Okay.
If someone took you on a date,
Okay.
what would you like personally talk? Like a normal date or like a study type of thing?
Definitely not study. Now no. Yeah, now no.
Okay, so continue about your
So yeah, my secondary school went like that, and I fall in love with the subject. And then the moment my results came out, and I was the top scorer as well.
Alright.
So what happens is like that. I'll tell you why am I telling about that, right? Because it's a lot to do with your awareness over the time. Because when you're young, you're not very aware. And why am I telling that is because there's so many other students like that who, the moment let's say you are the world prize winner for ACCA, right? And you are the world prize winner for many, many subjects. You eventually have that ego in you, but what makes you grounded is another thing. So that is what I learned over the years. And that's why I'm actually telling about this and stressing about it a lot now, because you could understand what happens after that and how I became more wiser. Yeah, and now why I became a tutor. It's actually relatable.
yeah, it's quite interesting, like how something small, like your one small decision.
Yeah. Oh, you should ask me later about how I found my passion. But yeah, that's probably another question. But coming back to this, right? The moment I finished my secondary school, my parents asked me to do medicine. Not my parents. My parents want me to do engineering, but my other aunties and uncles, asked me to do medicine, and I said nope, no science at all.
Was it a lot of pressure, no? To
Like I said, right? I just don't really care about. Actually, I have that adamance a lot in me since young, but now it's a bit more toned down. So I just do what feels right for me.
I have a question. You told me that when you were in school, you were a bit like a study kind of person.
Yeah,
But you told me also that you're more confident now. How you can change from that
talking to
into,
people. Okay, probably in my universities, my first few, actually the all 4 years, I wasn't that confident also. Okay, even in my universities, there were so many students. Like in my university, it's almost like a public university. So we have almost like 300, 400 students in one course. And that many will be in the lecture hall as well. So for you to come up and talk, itself is a big thing for me, So I didn't do that at all. But deep in my heart, I know that is who I am. But I never took an action. I was like, you know what? Please don't come near me. Don't ask me any question. Even though I know I won't speak, I'll just keep quiet.
Sometimes if there is like a talent show in my school, if I want to sing, I would shake my head, like that. It's really hard.
Exactly. It's really, really hard. But what happened is, I would say, like from my experience, the moment you know what you left doing, it naturally comes. It comes because you don't feel pressured. You don't feel like you need to brag or you get validation from other people. It's just because of you're doing it from your heart, right? From your passion. It doesn't matter what's the result, right? But you are keep on doing it. You are like, I need to do this because this will impact the people or the students. So it's all about the passion. Yeah.
Really do respect it. As you say, you don't need to listen to anyone. Because sometimes I need to listen to other people's opinion. So I need to know their opinion and my opinion. Which one should
Actually, I want to correct on that part, right? You see, what happens is when you're so into your view, your perspective, what may also happen is you may not get the right balance of opinion. You may feel like I'm always correct. But the problem is actually you need to get both sides, like yours and another person. Like for example, let's say I have a mentor. So I also need to get this suggestion from my mentor. But what happens in the initial stage is I'll get, but I don't listen.
you know your own?
Yeah, it's better. And then she slowly pointed it out. You see, you took the decision, but it didn't go well.
Yeah.
Right? It didn't go well. And that's when I hit like rock bottom like that. And I started listening. But I don't also listen everything.
Yeah.
Also have something coming from.
Yeah, because if not, then it should be like a reactive mode already. You listen to everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, people controlling you.
Yeah, it's going to be like that. And you don't have your perspective, your opinion. Yeah. That's how it happens.
So then how did you get from from secondary school to ACC?
Okay, so in my tertiary, I did in Tunku Abdul Rahman University College. So I did diploma studies, bachelor's commerce, which is a degree program. So it was 4 years in my university. I didn't work. I didn't do any internship until my final year. Yeah, I did internship during that time. After that year, right, the final year is where I took ACCA. My remaining 5 papers. Last time was 5 in my college itself, my university. So it wasn't a big problem for me to learn because it was already in my syllabus.
It was easy for you, because you're really smart. Pintar ka.
No. Alta, I'm aware now. I'm not smart, but I'm hardworking. That's a 2 different things.
She's smart.
Do you have like regrets joining ACC now? Or is there something that you wish you knew before you joined ACC?
That's a very good question. I think I need time to think about it. Yeah, maybe we can go for another question, then I'll come back to that question.
Okay, how was the journey in ACC?
Oh, it's a lot of ups and downs.
Okay, if you could say if you could describe how.
Wait, just tell what's the ups and what's the downs.
Okay, let me point it out, like how I've found my passion. I think that's the biggest question everyone asks, right? To be very honest, even though I know I want to do accounting, until I graduated, I really don't know what is my career. Like, there's so many things. You can be an accountant, you can be a tax person, or you can be a finance role.
Deep down, you know what you want, right? Or that you were lost, like you were confused. Right?
No, I was confused. I was confused.
You can choose what you want, right?
Yeah, that one was sure, but I was confused. Okay, what happens is something like this. I went into internship, okay, but what I expected was different. So the reality was different, expectation was different. This is the major problem with many students, to be very honest, because they are always spoon-fed.
Yeah.
So when you go out there in the reality world, it's very different. And you need to really learn from doing a lot of mistakes. So what happened is, for me, like I said, right, I'm bringing back that thing. Very high ego. Everything is correct. So what happens is, when I went into work, when my manager and my senior told that, Laavannya, this is wrong. Is this how you did in your ACCA? So the moment she told like that, it hits my ego. And what happens? I don't want to do audit at all. And now I'm a teacher. I'm teaching audit. So how the transition happened, right? That is the best part ever. Even until now, I'm like, I can't believe I'm actually teaching audit. Yeah, because it's like, I hated it. That was my first internship. I went in the Big Four. I did. And I said, I don't want to do this anymore to my mentor. And my mentor said, I was like, no, Laavannya, I think it's your mindset, you need to change. I said, no, never. I'm not going to do. I want to do something else. You know what I did? Right after my degree final year and my ACCA, I took 1 year gap. 1 year gap. I told to my parents, I want to take 1 year gap. Why? I want to find my passion. I enrolled in one of the program called Be at Your Best. It's an awareness-based program. And at the same time, they told me that I can do what I love doing. Like, I can figure out somehow. That was the program about, right? So, deep in my heart since young, actually I wanted to become an entrepreneur. That's all.
Everything, yeah. You want to take everything in life.
Okay. You see, I wanted to become an entrepreneur, right? And that was the reason why I took ACCA.
I wanted to become a pilot also. There's no way happening, Yeah, it's so hard. It was my dream to become a pilot,
Okay.
It's just sad, No, it's okay. I'm still happy also.
You will never. Maybe I sound like a bit more wise person, but maybe you're young. That's why you feel like I didn't get this, and I need to get into that, right? But from my experience, I'm telling you, like, if you didn't get that opportunity to do, you are getting this, means there is something there for you to do. It's a way, trust me, because that's how it happens for me, right? Because you feel like that's not for you at all, and that is not something that's gonna happen at all in your life, and then suddenly it happens for you.
Yeah.
You will never know what's gonna happen.
But you like force it, although like you just I think I like this kind of stuff.
Or yeah.
Will you like force it to join?
No, it wasn't. So it was like, again, right, the internship thing. It was not because of the subject. It was because of my mindset. Because my manager scolded me, my ego came out, and I don't accept my own mistakes. Actually, it was about myself. So that 1 year gap, right? You know what I did? I did everything other than accounting and audit. Event management, website, app development. Yeah, digital marketing. And then what else I did? Baking.
Baking? You did baking? How did it cut out? Like
Awful. And then what else I did? Event management. Oh, training. Yeah. But training was good because that is what I'm actually related to, like guiding people and all of that. And I was also in a project where guide younger generation to find their passion. So I was doing that as well. So that was that 1 year gap, right? And then towards the end of that 1 year, my parents started asking, so what are you going to do?
Yeah, that's the real question.
Yeah, that's a real question. But what happens is, guys, like, the app development and digital marketing company I was talking about, that I was directly working with that entrepreneur. Okay, because I want to become an entrepreneur. So I want to sit with them and see how is their life and see whether that kind of life is what I wanted. Yeah, exactly. Because what I feel like students, they have their own imagination, perception. Oh, if I become a CEO of the company, this is how it's going to be. But actually, you will never know until you go and talk to that CEO and probably be with him for the 24 hours, let's say 1 day or 2 days. And you see how he works, what he does, and if that really relates to what you are looking for, right? That's how it should be actually.
Because sometimes we never know where we want to go.
Yeah. So you need to go and see what's happening. Don't have your own imagination, which I had. Yeah, you imagine, and then when you went into, you feel like I am defeated or frustrated. That kind. So better if you want to choose a career, right? I mean, this is about career. You go and be with the person in that career. Like for example, if you want to become an auditor, go and see what the auditor does in a day. Probably don't think that people will not let you. There are so many kind people in the world. So many. That's how I met so many people. I mean, Mr. Manish. No. Mr. Manish. Yeah, that's how I met. So it's like so many things that you just need to go out and tell to that person, can you give me 1 day time? Oh, can I follow which project are you working on? Can I be like a support system for you? You will never know.
Sorry. So is that how you bridge like the gap between the textbook studies and your work?
Oh, that one is my own experience. Okay, let me put into perspective. Like I said, right, I was this very study person, not smart.
Like textbook.
Oh, hard worker.
Hard worker, and I would say I'm a very good follower, right? Follow in the sense of, you see, education is already in a system, right? If you go beyond the system, what happens? Yeah, right? So it's like I was very 100% student, like I follow the entire system. That's what I mean by follow. Which means if it's 1 plus 1, it's only 2.
Yeah.
It never goes beyond that.
1 plus 1 window you can make it.
Exactly. Right? I mean, that is not how I think. You see, what my teacher said or what they say, I just follow, and I was a very follower. So if the question or if someone asks me a bit differently, which happens at work, that is what happens at work. It's not exactly like in your exams. Exams actually are very easy. Exams are very easy actually, because everything is given, guys. The case is given, everything is given. But when you start working, it's a total different ball game. So yeah, coming back to that's how I found my passion, bridging the gap thingy. So in my own experiences, what I thought is, the moment I passed my advanced audit and assurance paper, oh yeah, I didn't tell that story. That's a very important story. I actually failed my advanced audit and assurance paper. Yeah.
First time failing or?
First time failing in my entire life. Yeah, I never failed any papers. So yeah, I failed my entire life, right? So it was not first time, second, third.
Audit.
Fourth it. I took I think that time is where the 1 year gap was as well. So the moment I failed, right, that paper, I said, you know what, I want to take a little bit break. So I took probably 3 months. After that, I took it back and I failed. And then again I failed. I was like, you know what, I'm done with it. I'm not going to do it. And my mentor was like, you only have 1 more paper. And you're not not a very good student. You are a good student. So don't give up. I hate my mentors because they always push me when it's very hard. So
what pushes you to study? What's your motivation on it? Sometimes people, I don't want to study, I better play game, don't have time to study.
You really want to know the answer? I don't know what else better to do. Really? I hate games.
Cooking Mama, Sims, Candy Crush, the candy will fall down.
I know the game, but that's not.
By talking Tom, we can talk to the cat and they will talk to us back. I mean, it's a bit creepy though.
It's clearly quite fun.
No, I play as well PS2, but
The game, right?
yeah, I do, but you see, this is how I feel like it connects to some people, it doesn't connect to some people. Like for me, genuinely, if you ask me, it doesn't connect. And if you ask me to play, I'm faking myself.
enjoy studying more than
Then
You study while smiling. Oh my god, I was so happy. Like that.
really? No, actually, I think it's the art of learning. I see it as an art. I don't see it like a stressful thing or I need to do it, man. I feel it like, hey, there's something for me to learn today, something new.
That's actually really good, man.
Next time I listen to someone who actually enjoys studying.
I heard a lot about the art of learning, but I've never been able to clearly define it.
I mean, I don't know. It's probably I inherit from my grandfather. My grandfather is someone who loves reading. And he is someone I'm very close with. He passed away very recently as well. So it was very, very difficult for me. But whatever he taught me, I think that's how my awareness grew. And about learning and stuff like that, he is the one actually planted. Laavannya, you do this. Maybe you need to do more. Be someone in your field, something like that. So I think it's my grandfather more than even my parents. Yeah, my grandfather, he comes once in a while only, but the impact that I have, a conversation that we have, I never had that conversation even with my friends.
Yeah, but sometimes you need the people in the who really.
Yeah, he opens my mind all the time when he come. He always asks me this question where he say, why are you doing this? Why are you thinking like that? He always asks me why. I hate it because he makes me to think. And you know what I do now? I'm doing that with my students and then they hate me. they tell me like, you are the teacher, why? What I'm trying to do in my class is like this. It's like, you learn, but you don't learn for the sake of passing the paper. You see, that's the biggest problem here in our generation. So I'm still young. Yeah. So our generation, that's the problem. You see, they don't see learning as exciting as a game. Game, why is it so exciting? Because it makes you think. Don't you agree? It's actually making you think. Yeah, especially when I'm not talking about talking Tom.
Oh.
So, I'm telling that the game that requires a higher IQ, like, there's certain games it requires a lot of thinking skills. I'm not actually.
It's not one of them.
I did.
Oh, wait, cooking mama. We learn how to cook. That's the whole point of the game. You flip the ayam chicken. Ayam is chicken.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you blend the ayam, everything. Put spices on it. I learned how to cook.
Okay, there are some which teaches you some skills or thinking and all of that. So that's how game is, right? So that's what I'm telling to my students. Like, when you learn, you need to know why are you actually doing that, not just following it.
Yeah.
Why over, you know?
Yeah, is that
I want that to be over, you know, like.
because you don't like it? That's all. Yeah, it's because you don't like it. So it's like, I don't know, either the lecturer needs to make it very fun, because it's actually both ways. The lecturer must also be very engaging. She needs to always probably think something new, be interactive. Audit is a subject everyone says boring. I don't know. That is what he says, but you should go and ask my students.
We are going to go back to the question that we asked. Is there something that you wish that you knew before you joined?
Yeah, there is one which actually made me to find a passion, bridging the gap part. So which means ACC is a very exam based kind of a system, right? What I think if I knew I could work while doing it or get some kind of experience while I'm actually studying would be really helpful. So that's something I wouldn't say regret, because without that I wouldn't be who I am now. So I needed that as well.
Ya, segitu aja dari Miss Labi. Yeah. Thank you so much, Labi, for being here with us.
Most welcome.
I really just want to say thank you for watching. You have anything to say to the camera? Hey, camera here, to people. There's no camera here.
No. I think I have just one last thing to share with the students. Like, learn because you really want to know about the subject. even though you don't like it, but at least you can try to know what is that subject about, and don't be a theory person, be a practical student.
That's the quote for the day. Thank you guys. Bye bye.